All right, we're gonna move on to this NFL draft for this year. This is a loaded draft in my opinion. It got a little bit of everything, all technicians, but we're gonna start with this. Who do you think, in your opinion, is the top prospect in this draft? It can be any position, anything. Who is your top prospect? Can't miss prospect. Who is it?
When you say can't miss, I have to factor in the team that they're going to,
Okay.
um, or the team I believe that they're going to go to. In my opinion, there are probably four seemingly can't miss prospects on paper for sure. I'm the type of guy I don't believe nobody's a can't miss prospect because that's just how football is, you know. But in the grand scheme of things, I think when you are a quarterback and you win a Heisman and you win a national championship, by law, you are the best player in the draft, just by law. Um, and that being said, I feel like the true can't miss prospect is Arvell Reese, personally.
Hmm.
But the reason I say that is a little more personal, because I actually know his coaches. Like one of the guys that we graduated with, Durante Nolan, that's my brother. He actually coached Arvell. Um, so
Right,
I
Glenville, right?
know you said what?
Glenville, right?
Actually not at Glenville before he went to Glenville. When
Okay.
He was at Euclid.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know Tillman and Coach D and Ronte,
Yeah.
they all coached him. Um,
Mm.
so I say that to say I've watched this kid work out. I watched this kid's film. There is nothing on the defensive side of the ball that I haven't seen him do at an elite level. And you're talking about generational talent. Though Mendoza did win the Heisman, though Mendoza did win a national championship, are we really calling him a generational talent?
Hmm.
Will we say that he's a generational talent? Because that would put him in an echelon of the Pat Mahomes and like, are we saying that? Do we see that when we see him? He's a gritty, tough, confident quarterback, and he can sling it. Don't get me wrong. But do we see generational talent when we see him?
Hmm. That's
Because
a good point.
Arvell Reese is somebody that I see you can plug him just about anywhere on a defense. Obviously, you're not going to plug him at, cornerback or safety because he's huge, right? But the numbers that he's put up, bro, he's fast enough to
Cool. That
cover your
boy.
tight ends. He's fast
That
enough to
boy.
even cover
Yeah.
slower receivers. And you're talking about a dude who also things that we have seen those two kids from Miami do on the defensive line,
Yeah.
Arvell Reese can also do that.
I wish Ohio State would have fucking did that. But hey, man, let me chill. Let me chill. Let me chill.
Seriously, we didn't utilize that nearly enough. Um, that kid is a generational talent, and I feel like he is the overall can't miss prospect because it's defense is a lot easier to translate over into the NFL than
Mhm.
offense, especially the quarterback position. And
Hey,
for me, it's
I'm
really just that simple.
and that was my player, but I knew you was gonna pick. I just knew you was gonna pick him. So I'm gonna pick another player I had on my other board. I'm gonna go to the other side of the ball since you went defense because I agree. Arvell Reese, bro, he's top gener. He's an alien. I call him an alien, bro. He's
For
not from
sure.
this world, bro. Like if I'm the Browns, bro, I know you gotta go offensive line or receiver, bro. I'm drafting him, putting him on the other side of Miles, and for the next 10 years, I'm good.
I'm good on defense.
They ain't gonna do it, but that's
We
why
could
I
we could
wish,
just we could just focus on offense.
man, for next because next year, like I said, next year is the draft, bro. That's where you get your
Yeah,
all
man.
offense. All offenses next year, bro.
Yes, man. For
But
sure.
they ain't gonna do it. Hey, that's what I would do. I would get Orville or another, but back to the best prospect available. In my opinion, top prospect, hands down, on offense is not gonna be Mendoza.
I know who you
As
talk. I know
much
you
as I
gonna say
love Mendoza, Jeremiah Love, bro, he is
that boy's special.
oh,
That boy's special, man.
he
He is.
acceleration can
He
block
is.
his ass off.
He
His
is.
patience, his run, his fucking acceleration, bro. He just got everything you want in the back.
Bro.
Bijan Robinson with a mix and flashes of Jameer Gibbs. Ooh, man, that boy is everything you want in a running back. Good player, smart player, coach's player, bro. He can get the locker room straight. And can you imagine if he goes to the New York Giants, bro? I'm talking about that would put them. I'm already gonna say it. That's my dark horse to win the Super Bowl next year. That's my dark horse. But
Yeah,
if
man.
they add him to that, lights out, because you got that young
That's
offense.
that's what they're missing.
And man, that'd just be because they get neighbors back.
Yeah.
It'll be fucking pure, bro. I'm just telling Jeremiah Love is gonna be that back that gonna win fantasy football championships. He gonna be that
Yeah.
back that
Yeah.
in the next ten years is gonna be the back that everybody's talking about. Everybody gonna have his jersey. He's top back, bro. He's top
Yeah.
back. But that's my top prospect. That's your top prospect. Now we talking about the top prospect. Now, who's somebody that you feel, a little overrated, man? Calm the fucking britches, bro. Put them in place. Who's your most overrated prospect in this year's draft?
Um. Oh, let me pull up my notes. Okay. Okay. So if we talking, I'm going to say this. I think in the within the top 15, there's nobody that I would consider overrated. And that is my take. Um, all of the research when I look at the names, bro, and you're talking about um the offensive tackle, Francis from Miami, he's special. I watch him a lot. I feel like I feel like he really I'm not big on drafting offensive linemen in the top 10. So I don't feel like that's really where the Cardinals or teams who need offense, that's not where they should go with that, personally. But that's me. But I feel like if you can develop offensive linemen and you can get a guy like that who wants to maul but has the feet to be a beautiful pass protector, you can turn him into anything. You can turn him into anything. And if you plan to turn around a franchise, you need an offensive tackle that can hold down the blind side, point blank, period. And I think they want to develop him into that guy. So I think depending on the team he goes to, he's a guy that might be considered overrated, but I don't think he's overrated. I just don't think he should get drafted that high.
Mm.
I don't think he's overrated though. I think he's talented. I think he's going to make a name for himself in the NFL. But
Just
that's the
think,
guy
yeah,
out of everybody that I looked at, that's the guy that I'm like, that's a little high for him. That's a little high.
that's it. And I agree with you. The thing about him though is I think it just what team he like you said, it was what team he goes to.
Yeah, for sure.
Some teams don't develop offensive line quite right. And some
100%.
like the if he goes to the Jets, I don't think that's a horrible organization.
No. The Jets can only pick one person. It's only
Hmm.
one person that they can pick,
Hmm.
and we just spoke about him.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Or they can trade back to the Cowboys and let them pick them up. But
Now,
my bad,
hey,
my bad.
that would be crazy. That would be
It
crazy.
was it was man.
That would be crazy.
My overrated player. Since you picked him, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna go offense because I'm gonna give an offensive player. This guy is shooting up boards. I don't know why. I really don't know why. And if I swear to God, if the Browns get this guy, I'm going to fucking throw a fit. I might go
Hold
some.
on. Hold on. Is it a receiver?
No, it's not a receiver, bro. It's a quarterback. It's Ty Simpson, bro. Do not pick
Bro,
Ty
ain't no
Simpson.
way.
Please do not take Ty Simpson in
Ain't no
this
way.
draft.
Stay away.
He's raising up board. I don't know why.
Stay away.
Listen, I get it. He's the it's friend it's Mendoza and it's a huge drop off. And it's
Yes.
him. If Trinidad would have came out, Trinidad Chamberlain's the quarterback for Ole Miss, if he would have came out, that okay, I can see. But Ty Simpson is the most pitiful quarterback. He don't have a cannon, that's for one.
Hmm.
I call him he got a noodle arm, bro. He can't read coverages right. He can't
Hmm.
process defenses. He went to an Alabama room with Ryan Williams, one of the top receivers, and he made him look like fucking Odell when he was with
Average.
he was
Yeah.
with this guy was a five-star prospect. He's the next up. This motherfucker can't throw 30 yards down the field, bro. Every time he threw it to Ryan Williams had to turn around, catch the ball, and then go up the field. Like accuracy is off the point. Motherfucker couldn't do shit in a playoff game. When he goes up north or to a cold environment, he performs horrible. Like, I don't think he's an NFL. Now, if he go to the right team like the Chiefs or whatever, and he sits behind somebody and learn from them, that's different. But I just think he's shooting up boards for I don't know what fucking reason. Maybe it's because everybody loves quarterbacks. But Ty Simpson is my overrated player, bro.
Well, you know how it goes, bro. Once we all establish who the number one quarterback is going to be, everybody who needs quarterbacks is now scrambling for who's
Yeah.
going to be the second, who's going to be the third. And none of those other guys give you reason to blow them up the charts. But then you get an Alabama quarterback who has mobility, then now, and he's a white boy with mobility. Oh, oh, he's the great white hope.
Bro, but the thing is with that, the motherfucker fumbled 5 times last year, bro. He's fucking I don't know. And if I'm telling you, if the fucking Browns pick him up, I'm gonna be pissed.
This is the reality about Ty Simpson, and I hate to do this, but if Ty Simpson was any other ethnicity, he would not be rising up boards. And that's all I'm gonna say. It's too obvious. What Rashad McCann say? Is it obvious? Is it obvious? Come on, man. Come
He is.
on.
I just don't get the. I'm. You know, I'm a college football homer, bro. That's all I fucking watch,
You
and
love that shit. Facts.
I like college more than NFL.
Same.
I just even watching his tape, like his tape, you can even his strong point throws, bro. It just look off. Something's off. It's something that's not there.
Mhm.
He should have stayed
Ability.
another year. He should have went back. He
Yes.
didn't even want to. He didn't want to compete. That's another thing. He don't like to compete. He fucking sits and mopes and he don't want to compete.
Mhm.
No, battle for that spot at Bama with that freshman and see who gets it. No, he want to pity. He ain't getting a starting spot. He not guaranteed a starting spot, so he want to go to the league.
You want to know what it is, bro? He's not a football player.
Should have played baseball.
He's playing football.
Yeah,
And there's a huge difference. Some people
it
just
is.
play football. And the guys who don't want to compete, they don't want to beat guys out for jobs, they take the easy
Yep.
route. Those are the guys who are just playing football, man.
Man,
And
you.
it's only
That's
gonna get you
facts.
so far. It's only gonna get you so far, especially in the NFL. When you got
That's
dudes
facts.
foaming at the mouth, dudes who got kids and families to look after,
Yep.
and they livelihood depend on this. It don't matter if it's the dude on the third string. He at your neck. And if you don't want to compete, somebody gonna eat you alive, bro. It's
Yep.
sharks and pit bulls and piranhas up there.
Yep.
This ain't
Classic.
this ain't. Yeah, this ain't high school, and that's what a lot of these
Exactly.
kids is missing. It's not
So
high school anymore. Nobody's gonna stroke you. Nobody's gonna suck your dick. This is not that. Quarterbacks come and go. You think
yep.
that you are going to be the exception? Hell no. Hell no.
And it's
Let's get
crazy
you out of
because
here.
and what's killing these kids too is that 707 shit, bro. The
Oh my gosh.
707 shit is killing them. It's killing everything.
Yes. Yes. It instills fake confidence in these kids, bro.
Hmm.
It's very fake confidence. Y'all are building y'all entire belief in yourselves off of what you're doing in 7-on-7, damn near scripted football. Y'all
Hmm.
basically playing flag football.
Yep.
And we know that shit doesn't really translate into the game. It doesn't translate
Exactly.
into teaching you coverages. It doesn't translate into teaching receivers how to sit down on routes. All these dudes want to do is run go routes and posts and score touchdowns. And they don't
Hmm.
understand the intricacies of the game. How do you become a 10-year vet in the NFL? You have to know the IQ of the position you play. And if
Yep.
they're not getting taught to care about that, they only care about highlights. Ask these kids, where's your game film? I don't got no game film. But how many highlight tapes do they have?
Yeah.
You only want people to see the good, but you're not going back and watching the bad that you did and improving on that. You don't become an Arvell Reese type of talent or a Sonny Styles type of talent. Sonny Styles was a DB.
Yep.
He's a DB, but he kept fine tuning his craft, and he done turned himself into a top 10, top 15 pick. That's what people don't understand. You got to put the work in. And it's not about, you'll never put the proper work in if you never do the proper work to understand what you need to work on. It's that simple. If I'm always like, well, I had 3 catches for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns, that's immaculate. But
Ex-
you also had 4 drops, 2 fumbles in the same game,
Yep.
and y'all lost.
And it's as much as it's helped because it's like fast paced and shit. 707 probably did more damage than it helped, bro. Because
Bro,
it's like you just said, it's teaching these kids the wrong fundamentals in football.
yes, bro. And you know how I am with my analogies. 7-on-7 is to the NFL what AAU basketball is to the NBA.
Exactly. Yep.
It's just
That's great.
taking
That's a good point.
fundamentals completely out of the game.
Yep.
And me being a college coach, now I get kids coming to me. I'm an offensive line coach, and I have to tell receivers just because you have a slant doesn't mean you take a slant all the way across the field and they're in cover two. It's a big gap in the middle of the field. Sit
Yep.
down
Yep. Ah, shit, man. Hey, man, we can go all day with this
all
shit,
day,
man.
bro. All
But
day.
let's move on to the most underrated player. I've been wanting to hear yours for a minute now because I think I know who it is. Please tell me who your most underrated player in this draft
This dude, I don't know if he's not getting the buzz that I believe he should be getting because there's not a lot of teams vying for interior linemen these days for some reason. We've been tricked by the greatness of TJ Watt, Miles Garrett, Micah Parsons, some of these guys who are just generationally great off the edge. That we're looking for that because we think that's the cornerstone of a defense. But what we are learning is if you can't stop the run, you can't win football games. So, upon my research, I saw a guy at a Senior Bowl practice knocking people off the ball. Just raw ability, a quick get off. And bro is like 330, but got a quick get off, strong hands, hella flexible, a ox. I
I know what
watched
you're
it
talking about.
and I said, okay, this is just Senior Bowl practice. He probably was juiced up that day. It was just everybody has those practices where they just come on that shit. It's a big opportunity. You juiced up. Okay. So I said, let me go watch and do my research on this kid. It's the same thing. And I'm talking about DeMonte Capehart. That boy, mark my words, he is going to be giving centers and guards fits at that
Bro, that
one tech
was
spot.
damn,
That
bro.
nose
What?
spot, he is going
Yeah.
to be a problem.
What team he play for?
He's with Clemson.
Yes, sir.
He's with Clemson.
They got a couple offensive linemen that I like, bro. Damn, bro. Okay, okay. You know your shit. You know you the
But think
offensive
about it.
line coach.
Think about this though. The offensive linemen, some of the offensive linemen that Clemson got, because they got a guard over there that I like.
Yep.
What what do you think when you have a player like that on defense? It forces those offensive linemen to get better. It just forces you to. I have to see him every day. I can't run from him. I'm a starter. He's a starter. I got to
Yep.
deal with that every day. Now, if I could deal with a boy knocking me off the ball every day, it's gonna be easy when I go against somebody else. Because now, even now, with these a lot of these D tackles now, they want to be pretty.
Yep.
It ain't no
Yep.
Warren Saps no more. It ain't no Ndamukong Suhs no more. Like
It
these
ain't no
dudes
more.
saw
It ain't no more smelly niggas no more.
no, bro. That
Everybody
wear
want
the
to be
big
all
bulky cleats.
doved up.
Come on, bro. And it's like y'all watch, and this is what I mean, tricking ourselves. Y'all watch a guy like Aaron Donald, and now every D tackle thinks that they're Aaron Donald.
Yep.
Like Aaron Donald was a low key, undersized edge rusher playing the three. Another generational talent.
And that's the word, generational. And you know what? Go ahead. I don't even want to go on that shit, but
Come on, bro.
generational talent is generational for a reason. It's not generational every year.
Come
Generational is
on,
once
bro.
every 10 years, bro.
Once every 10 years. So we went from JJ to AD. That's how that goes. All them other dudes in between were not generational.
Exactly.
They were just good players, great players.
Yep.
That's what we have to understand. I'm glad you said that because we throw that generational word around a lot. A lot. You can only have one per position every 10 years. That's the rule. It don't matter. It don't matter how you look at it.
And going off of that, you got anything else to say about that offensive lineman? Because he's really fucking good. Like what now with him being underrated, what do you think one thing he need to work on? Because I seen one thing that he does need to work on.
Who Cape Heart?
Yeah.
Um, hand fighting.
Yeah.
Hand fighting.
Yeah.
He relies a lot on the strength. Um,
Yeah.
and he has to learn some of them subtle moves that get guys off you, man. You got to really take advantage of those long arms that you got in that power because yeah, you'll get your hands on and you will break that gap up a little bit. But if you're not getting off that block, that running back can still hit that
Yeah.
hole. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I would like to see him definitely work on that and stop leaning so much on his hands. If you notice, he comes with those hands leaning and he leans on your body like he has to use that power. And it's like, no, don't lean, roll your hips through, get your hands, roll your hips through, and that's where your leverage and power are gonna come from. But that's an easy fix.
Yeah, it's that's shit that you work in OTAs and shit like that. That's the
Mhm.
fundamentals that you work on. But hey,
Yeah,
go back and watch that fucking Georgia Tech tape, bro. Dude was eating him alive. That's what his hand fighting. That's what I was about to say. Cause dude was eating him up with the the
yeah,
swims and the fucking bro. He was eating his ass up. Pause. But
yeah.
that Georgia Tech film, go watch that. Cause that was like, bro, that's the one
Yeah, I'm
tape
gonna have to check
that
that out.
yeah, Georgia Tech. But
I'm gonna have to check it out. But I noticed just watching a guy, I can notice when one of my biggest strengths as an offensive lineman was always hand fighting. Because my thing is, I understand that as a defensive lineman, you have to use your hands.
Mhm.
You're that's your biggest weapon. And my biggest weapon is knowing that you have to use your hands. So I'm already once I get into my kick, I'm already finding your biceps. I'm already looking for your arm. So I got my stab arm at the V, independent hands. I keep this arm free. Now I'm shooting for bicep. I'm shooting for rib or bicep, like every time. Because I know if I shoot at your rib, you can't get that arm up. Now, if you do get your arm up, I'm smacking it down.
Damn,
It's gonna
man, you
make it
got
real
me
simple.
wanting to go back out there on that field.
Man, I'm telling you, man. I had practice today and it got
Oh
crazy.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, I do things to people. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get into this draft, man.
All right,
That's what the people want to see.
my most underrated player. I have two, but one of them I'm just gonna give a little thing to. Caden McDonald, Ohio State defensive tackle. He is one of the most
Is he
underrated players.
underrated?
He's under because they got him going in the second round. I think it's a guy Lee Hunter from
Okay.
Texas Tech that's
Okay.
going above him, and I feel like that should be flip flop. I think that the Eagles are a team that I feel like Caden McDonald can go to. That's why I kind of want that Jalen Carter thing. But I feel like the Eagles is a team that he one of those good teams like the Lions he can go to and he can be a plug-in player and I think he can dominate there, man. I'm telling you. But
I
that's just
don't I don't
underrated.
think I don't think Lee Hunter is the best interior defensive lineman either. I really don't.
He was on my list for most overrated, but Ty Simpson pissed me off. The Ty
Yeah.
Simpson train pissed me off to the point where I had to switch it. But Lee
He,
Hunter, I ain't gonna I don't even want to get
he
on because I'm,
tested
I'm trying to let him shine.
he's a guy that we call he's aesthetically pleasing. He checks off all the boxes when you look at him, when you look at his test numbers, but when you watch his film, one thing that does not translate well to the NFL is laziness as an interior lineman
Thank
and
you.
lack of a motor. That does not translate well. It just never has. Never has.
What was the knock on Miles Garrett for the longest fucking time, bro? He was
The
a
motor.
great fucking player. It's his motor. He took fucking plays off.
Take plays off. Yeah.
Like,
Same thing.
man,
Same
if
thing with
you
your Albert Hainsworths.
Yep.
Same things with Jadavian Clowney.
Yep.
Guys who take plays off, who have elite talent, but pick and choose when they want to use
Yep.
them.
And then let him go against Francis. That motherfucker gonna get knocked down because when they do the little stunts,
Yeah,
whoa man, have
yeah,
him in hell.
he's really yeah. I like him. I like Francis, man. I like Francis.
But my most underrated player, I feel like he's most underrated. I wouldn't mind the Browns picking him up in at pick number 24 if you do go offensive line early. Omar Cooper Jr. is probably the second best receiver in this drive,
Mm,
in my opinion.
mm,
Carnell Tate is Carnell Tate. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong. Omar Cooper Jr., bro, he can go up and get the ball. His separation, his yards, his yards after catch, fucking blew my mind, bro. Pause. But it blew my mind because against Ohio State, he's going against these guys. He got
yeah,
injured. He got injured. He
mm,
was about to take over that game, bro.
yeah,
Against he had that one touchdown catch against what was it, Penn State when he went up in front and got that the last second.
yeah,
Bro, his separation, his fucking fluid, like he used his hips, he used like his footwork, his fundamentals. He's a
yeah.
great guy, a
And
team.
I have two words for you when it comes to him, and this is what I really like about him, his play, and it's something I like about. I think everybody loves Jeremiah Smith's game, but this is something that people don't really talk about. It's the late hands, man. The late hands,
Yeah,
that late hand shit is literally killing these
yeah,
DBs these days
yeah,
because now they don't know when the ball is coming, and if they
yep,
face guarding you, which a lot of these faster DBs like to do, they don't know when the ball's coming. And then
yep,
at the last minute, you look up, bow, and you grab it.
yep,
Come on, it puts them at a disadvantage. Now you either gonna get a PI or it's head tap.
yep. And I like his with that too, his versatility and his most underrated thing. I feel like his underrated trait is his strength. That he got some
Mm,
strength. Like
Hmm.
that's one thing with Jeremiah. People that push off against Oregon, that wasn't a
Yeah.
fucking push off. He's just overpowering these guys. He can block. Omar Cooper Jr. can fucking block his ass
Yes.
off.
I was just about to say that.
And that's what I feel like
Hmm.
a team like the Browns need, bro. Like if you go offensive line heavy, it's another receiver that's in the draft, but go get Omar Cooper, bro. I think he can be the type of player that Cleveland needs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But going into that, it's about 9 minutes remaining. Let's just go through our favorite prospect at every position. All right, let's just go real flyer quarterback. Who's your top quarterback prospect?
Mendoza.
I
Mendoza.
think it's only one. I think it's
Just
only
by
one.
default, nobody looks as NFL ready as he's looked.
Mhm. Now, I think Tom Brady fell in love with him. I think Tom Brady. I think he sees himself. He sees
Yeah.
himself. I don't know if he's gonna pan out, but he sees himself. But let's move on to running back. You know mine, Jeremiah Love. That was my top prospect. Who's your top running back prospect?
Next.
Receiver, I'm a little biased, Carnell Tate, but I have Omar Cooper right there with him. Now, is Carnell Tate your top prospect? I mean, receiver prospect?
At receiver, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So real quick, what do you think, Carnell Tate? Why do you like him as your top prospect?
I feel like I just think he's a guy that you could put outside and inside.
Yeah.
And the IQ that he has, he is a guy who knows when to sit, how to sit. Um, he mixed a lot of what you saw from Smith and Jigba, and also what you saw from Jeremiah, and he mixed a lot of those things together. Just the IQ, and I really like the versatility that he can bring in that aspect. Um, I wish, I do wish he blocked like Omar Cooper though,
Yeah.
for sure. That boy, and I like that because, hey man, what if somehow we get both of them? I
Well,
mean,
you starter receivers, cool,
yeah, we'd be good. We'll be good for the next 5 to 10 years.
man.
For real, for real.
But with Carnell Tate, like you were saying, one word that I feel like summarizes him in a shell is polished. He's a polished receiver.
Yeah, very,
He's
very.
fluent. He's
That's actually a
polished.
great word to use. Great word to
He
use.
runs his routes. He's a great route runner. He's
Hmm.
gonna get the ball. He can
Hmm.
go up and get it. He's
Hmm.
Omar Cooper Jr. on steroids a little bit, if you wanna call
I
it.
see what you're saying in terms of athletic ability. Absolutely.
But like you said, his knock is that blocking shit. Like he has to learn in the NFL that you have to block as a receiver, especially if he get drafted by the Cleveland Browns. This will Todd Monkey running that damn ball,
Yeah. No,
and it
for
might
sure.
come your way.
For sure.
All right, but who's your number? If you had to pick a number two receiver, who is it?
We just talked. It's only two receivers that I
Okay,
care
all right.
about.
I was just making sure. I was just making sure because I it's one
But no, it
receiver that
is.
everybody talking
Don't
about.
don't get me wrong. It's some good receivers in this draft, though.
Like
It's a lot
I
of
like I like
some good
KC.
receivers in
I
drafts.
like Casey Concepcion from Texas A&M. I like him too, but I just feel like Omar Cooper is over him.
I I don't. If you like consistency, sure. If you like that, and it's nothing wrong with consistency, especially as a receiver. Um, I don't know. He just don't do it for me. He's got really, in my opinion, that spark is either going to translate really well or it's going
hmm
to be the reason he doesn't translate.
It's gonna either be Odell or it's gonna be what's his name? Coleman. What's that dude
Yeah,
name
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
Baylor we drafted?
Yeah,
Fuck,
Corey
man.
Coleman. Hell yeah. Oh, I remember him. Corey Coleman.
I didn't even want to think. All right, what's your top offensive line prospect, bro? Fuck, man. That just brung us some bad memories.
Like I said, I think Francis is the top prospect. Like I really feel like this year is the year where a lot of the a lot of the reports have been pretty spot on when you look at the film for a lot of these guys in the top 10. A lot of this top 10 is loaded. The top
Yes.
15 loaded
And
like
it's a drop off after that top 15, 14,
for
15 picks.
sure.
It's a little drop off. So you
For
better
sure.
get your that's why I don't want the Browns to trade. That's why I don't want them to trade back, bro. Go ahead and get your talent, dog.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
Francis too. I think he's like I got in my notes. He's a mauler, speed, technique.
Oh.
But he do need to work on them. He needs to work on his hands too a little bit because
Yeah.
against Ohio State there at the end, he got a little tired. He got a little tired and his
That
technique
looks like
changed up and his
yeah.
hands wasn't placed right and
Then that's the biggest words that you said was hands placement. I think that's so key to hamper down on those things so much to the point where it's just natural because
Mhm.
at the end of the day, you can't predict what a defensive lineman is going to do. Your only defense before the play starts is your IQ and your technique.
Yeah.
And your technique puts you in position. Your hands have to be right. If you get a little bit off track, you lose the rep. That's how serious it is that we
Hmm.
stick to our technique as offensive linemen. And I also think sometimes he gets his hands too high.
Yeah.
Um, he shoots kind of straight sometimes. And what I kind of teach some of my linemen is when you're playing, I guarantee a lot of people think that it's a low hand technique. It's really not. Low hands is if I'm shooting low, right? This isn't shooting low. This is keeping our hands out of the sight of the defensive lineman and bringing them up to his chest. It's not the same as giving low hands. The key is you show your hands low. But when you load to punch, you bring your hands chest high and go to the chest and scoop that guy, right?
Yeah.
The reason that you do that is because it's just like if I'm in a boxing match and I really compare playing offensive tackle to boxing. If we're boxing, you can see if I'm throwing straight at you. You even see it if I throw like an uppercut, right? But if I take a punch from down here, you not seeing that
Right.
because I'm out
Right.
of your line of vision. So if I throw my punches from here, these D linemen aren't really seeing that. And
Right.
you give yourself an opportunity to stand them up and get that chest high. And now let's play football. Um, the key with that is also independent hands. So I'm not trying to catch you, right? Essentially, I'm trying to get a hand up under and push
Right.
you up. And
Right.
this hand is to catch. Whichever hand is your outside hand, that's what hand you catch with. So if you're at right tackle, you're catching with this hand, right? You're stabbing here and we catch here, right? If you're on the left, it's the other way around, stab here and we catch here. So you
Right.
keep your hands independent. You give different types of punches. You can't be consistent with your punching. You have to switch it up. That's like if a boxer keeps throwing a jab or a fight, eventually the other guy's gonna pick up that that's all you doing. And they're gonna come up
Man.
with counters to it. They're gonna come up with counters to it. You gotta play the game within the game. This thing is really constantly thinking of ways to keep defensive linemen guessing about what you're doing. Once you get them guessing what you're doing, now they're playing your game. Now they have to think if they want to hit this spin move because you stopped the last three. Now they have to think about, do I want to bull rush this guy or do I want to go speed the power? If I go speed the power, is he going to hit me with that jab up and catch me? And now if I spin back inside, what's that?
Right.
Pancake.
Yep. And you got a lot of those, right?